like you to put Yalta Conference. Okay, so the second conference was the Yalta Conference. Now this was in 1945, early on in the year. Okay, so that's that. So what they agreed, again, this is not exactly what happened, this is what they was agreeing would happen, is that they would agree that Germany would be divided and demilitarized. Now this was an aim that they wanted to make sure that Germany was in a weak position after World War II. They did not want anything like another world war to happen again. So they demilitarized Germany, so that meant that they had a very minimal army. They took away all the battleships, took away other things that would help Germany become a powerful country again. Okay. Now, what the Soviet Union wanted at this current time, led by Stalin, was that they wanted to make sure that Germany was as weak as it could possibly be. They really wanted Germany to pay because the Soviet Union, Russia, had suffered massively during World War II. There was a huge number of significant losses from Russian troops out of all the others in the World War II. So they wanted to make sure that Germany was weak. Now, in order to do that, they wanted Germany to pay huge reparations. And they wanted Germany to pay a huge sum of money to make sure that they paid for what happened, all the damages that was caused throughout World War II. Now, another thing that was agreed was that there would be free, democratic elections across Europe. Okay, they wanted free, democratic elections across Europe. Then USSR, so the Soviet Union still, would declare war on Japan once Germany was defeated. Okay, and they also agreed, so Stalin agreed that Poland would be run democratically. Now, whether that actually happened, we'll talk about soon, but that's what they wanted to happen. They would say that Poland would be run democratically. Okay? Now, this wasn't enough dividing Germany. They believed that Berlin, being the capital of Germany at the time, needed to be split up so it was fair. Okay? Because Berlin would have been in the Soviet Union sphere of influence. Now, obviously, USA and GB would not be happy about this, so they believed that Berlin would be split into 4 zones. Okay. They believed they should be split into 4 zones so that they would have a different part of Berlin to themselves. Okay. Now, it's important to recognise the disagreements during this part. So I'm just going to rub this off and I'm going to go through the disagreements quickly. Okay. So we have, at this point, we have the USA leader at the time, President Roosevelt. We have GB led by Winston Churchill. Okay, and then we have Soviet Union, which is led by Stalin. Now, like I said a minute ago, we have the Western ideology of capitalism against the Eastern ideology of communism. Now, these were completely different ideologies. which meant that these countries probably did not get on, but they came together to make the Grand Alliance, as it was a marriage of convenience so they could shape the new world. Now, the disagreements then. Okay, so this is early tensions already between these international countries. So the disagreements were that Stalin wanted a higher figure of German reparations. He was not happy with the figure that was set already. He wanted Germany to pay even more. So Stalin wanted a higher figure of German reparations. Stalin also wanted the Polish border to be further west. Okay. And he also wanted to hunt down the Nazi war criminals. Okay, so it's obvious already the person that's the most unhappy. Stalin is the one that is most unhappy coming away from the Yalta Conference. He believed also that the USA and Great Britain, Roosevelt and Churchill, were actually, they were trying to spy on the Russians, and they were trying to put their heads together to make sure that the West came out on top over the East. So our next one then is going to be in between the Yalta and the Potsdam